Hello people, I'm going to be recording well, it's not going to be that short, but it's going to be a tutorial on basically how to set up the Raspberry Pi and how to make a seed box, which I've been using Feral hosting for a while now, but it's honestly not really worth my £10 a month anymore. So what I'm going to do is try and show you what I've done. Well, what I had done, I actually just reformatted the SD card for my Raspberry Pi, and I'm just going to start again from scratch and hopefully be able to set it up again. If not, then that's gonna be annoying because the private trackers are gonna wonder why I'm not seeding anymore. But basically, it's gonna be quite difficult to do this. I'm gonna use a few different programs to actually record what I'm doing. And worst comes to worst, I'm literally gonna get my video camera and just video what I'm doing on the Raspberry Pi. I'm gonna try and make it as clear as possible. Like I said, this is my first ever tutorial. I'm just hoping that people actually learn from this if you're trying to do this, because it wasn't extremely difficult for me to do. But at the same time, I'm learning some of this stuff at university for the Raspberry Pi and stuff, and some of the tutorials were so bad, like online, and honestly, it would just help to have someone walking you through it. I know there's a couple more tutorials on YouTube and stuff, but I'm kind of just doing this for like personal experience and stuff as well. So I hope you actually learn how to do it. Alright, so the next step's pretty easy. All you got to do is download this program called SD Formatter for Windows or Mac, whatever you're using. Just I accept, whatever, download whatever it wants. This is the window that will come up now, is this SD formatter. So you want to find where your SD card is. Mine's H. Call it what you want. Pi. Click options. Make sure this is on. This format size adjustment. It's important that's on. And then click format. Okay. It will start formatting it. Format done. So that's all done. Now, basically, what you need to do now is download something called Noobs, which is on the Raspberry Pi official site. I'll chuck the link in the description. You just click on here, download the zip, or if you want to download a torrent, whatever you want to do. I just downloaded the image, and then what I done then is literally just unzipped it into a folder called Noobs, just to be easier. So basically, what you want to do now is open where your SD card is, and then literally just copy and paste, drag and drop, however clever you want to be. Then once that's done, that's basically ready to be put into the Raspberry Pi, and then the Raspberry Pi can be booted up. So I'm just going to let this do this. Another thing to look out for when you're actually doing this is when you've actually formatted the SD card and however you've done it, just make sure you safely remove the SD card from the computer instead of just yanking it out. Because, well, to be honest, a lot of people say that. The amount of times I've actually done that to USB pens and whatever, and nothing's ever happened. But you know, the one time I do it on the tutorial is just gonna like screw up, and then I'm gonna look like a knobhead. So just make sure you do it just to be safe, and I don't want anything to go wrong for you guys as well. So just to be safe, just do it. Alright, and what you're gonna need to do now is I'm actually gonna video this because it's just easier to do it like this. Basically, get your SD card out of whatever USB thing you used. Just quickly put that actually in the Raspberry Pi, which is. Oh my god, I'm failing already. There we go, so that's in like that. So I can only do it one hand. Basically, get the USB power for the Raspberry Pi. Just stick that in. Jesus Christ, alright. Alright, so the power's in, the Raspberry Pi is actually turning on. I'm using a HDMI for this, just to get it up on the monitor. So over here, I'll go onto HDMI, and hopefully it's on its way up the screen, booting up. Yeah, there we go. Right, so now what you've got is just the very basic boot screen of the Pi. What I would recommend is Raspbian is the one I use. I'm actually using a mouse on here. You can use a keyboard, it's just as easy, really. I'm just using that. That's just in the USB ports of the Pi. Can use a keyboard, whatever you want to do. Just hit install. It will say warning, blah blah, whatever. Just hit yes. So this will take another couple of minutes, really. Yeah, it will take quite a few minutes. I remember on the first time I done it, it took a while. So just leave it on this screen while it's booting up. Just whatever, go and get a drink. Right, so it's finally done. OS installed successfully. I keep grabbing the wrong mouse. God. Right, so just click OK, and I'm not sure. I think it might restart now with this operating system and chuck you in. I don't think it just chucks you in. If so, it's going to chuck me back to my desktop, yeah. Right, so I'll just give it a sec because it's just doing the cycle. I'll just chuck this back on HDMI and hopefully it's booting up again. We'll soon find out. Yeah, here we go. Right, so this is sort of the first screen you're going to see with the Pi. it's just sorting everything out. And when I first saw this, I was just like, what the hell? I mean, I'm no whiz kid with the Pi. I've only been using it for about a week or something like that. But just because I got this sorted, I thought, oh, I'm going to help someone. I'm going to do this for someone. But basically, so the first thing you can do is, you can obviously change your password, do what you want. The expand file system is, if you install it via noobs like I did, it will be done already. So you don't even need to do that anymore. Overclocking and stuff, I didn't touch any of this. So when at my university, the teacher or lecturer actually overclocked them, and they kept like just dying. Like all the cards were getting like really screwed up. So he said, just don't overclock it. I'm sure you can. I don't know why it was for them. I think it was something we were doing that was screwing some of the cards up, or people are just stupid. Like I don't even know why half the people are there. What I'm gonna do is get up what I done for the installing Deluge. That's the torrent client I'm going to use is Deluge, just because I used it on feral hosting and I'm so used to it. I just want to use Deluge. If you want to do a little fanboy war on if rtorrent's better than Deluge, then go for it, but I'm using Deluge just because I like it and I have used it before. So let's go with the main stuff. Right, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just change the user password on here. I'll zoom in a bit so you can see it. It's just easy, you know what to do. You'll now be asked to enter a new password for the Pi. It'll come down the bottom. I'm gonna enter something just quickly. Actually, I'll do that. Yeah, but you won't be able to see what you've typed. So I'm sure you can remember what you've typed, but just make sure you're typing it right. Otherwise, you'll have to do it again. Right, is that right? Password changed successfully. Right, now basically what we're gonna do is we don't even need to use this anymore. You don't need the HDMI in. You can just like. We didn't need to anyway, but just to be easier, finish. Right, so it'll come down here like this. Basically, that's what we're going to see when we connect to it via SSH in, which you use I'll just do it here. I'm going to take it onto the desktop recorder anyway, but I'm going to use a program called Putty. So the Raspberry Pi is here, still here with the HDMI, and we don't need that anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just whip this monitor back off and go onto the desktop recording thing. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay, the next step for you guys is to download Putty, which is, you can just Google it. I'll chuck the link again in the thing. I'm making all these promises of these links, so I hope I remember all of them. Just go to download this putty.exe, the top one for Windows. If you're on Mac, download whatever one you want. So basically when you've done that, you open it, it's here. And this is what I know some people find difficult, because I've seen a lot of people online just really, really clueless on how to do this. Basically, I'm hoping you're not advanced and thinking this guy is a knob because he's saying stuff that's so obvious. Basically, log into your router. This is my router thing, just a Cisco one, whatever. Right, basically, to find out what your actual Raspberry Pi IP is go on my one, go to status and then local network, and then you want to get the DHCP client table up, however you do it on yours. And basically, you've got Raspberry Pi, and it gives me an IP address for the Pi, which is 192.168.1.118. So that's my Pi. That's the address for it on my router's subnets and whatever. So you want to find that, because you need to know which IP it is actually on. You can actually do it through the Pi itself as well, which I'll show you how to do it when I've SSH'd into it. But if you didn't know how to do that or was clueless, basically, right, I should have, you know what, I'm going to do that again just because I rushed through that. I'll open Putty again. I just spammed it. Right, so I've already got it set up. This is mine, 192.168.1.118. It's port 22 SSH. You can save it here, it just makes it faster. That's basically what I've done, and then I went really fast. So if I go open, it's come over on my other monitor. So basically it says this, just click yes to allow it. Then you'll come up with this. So you log in as, well, I changed my password on that. So your default user is going to be Pi. Then you put in whatever password you put in before. There we go, right, we're in. So basically what you can do if you don't know what your IP address is for the Pi, if you've got your Ethernet cable in the Pi now, which you should have, you put in, I think it's sudo and then ifconfig. I'm not sure if you even need the sudo there. Yes, alright, this is it. So basically this will be your IP now. You see I said it's 192.168.1.118. So if you wasn't too sure about how to get into your router and stuff like that, you're going to need to get into your router to forward the port soon enough for the Deluge anyway, so you should work out how to do that. I'll try my best to explain it, because I know some people really have no idea what's going on with that, and hopefully you're not too advanced. Alright, so after that, this is where the actual, well, it's not exactly too fun, but we'll see. Alright, so the first step is to go sudo and then apt-get in, well actually that's too far, go to update. So what this is going to do is going to update your pies, whatever, everything. So it's just going to update everything. Hopefully it won't go too slow. I'll try and, if it's taking too long, I'll edit it out, and then don't want to bore you with watching the same screen. But if you're following, hopefully you'll follow along at a similar speed. So basically it's just like updating Windows, I guess. It's just updating everything to do with it, I think. I might be wrong. I wouldn't take my word for anything. As long as I get it working, no, I've got you that far. And I know sudo is sort of like super user do. It's sort of, even though you're a user, it's letting you use, it's basically letting you use the root privileges to do stuff, which I don't really get, but who knows? They know what they're doing, I hope. It seems like, what's the point of being the root if you can just use the root? But I know you can damage it a lot on the root if you start doing stupid stuff. I know some people at my university have managed to screw up their pies pretty badly by just doing stuff on root that they shouldn't have been doing, and then you have to just reformat it, and it's just long. Alright, so this is still installing. We'll see if it takes too long. I will just edit. Hopefully not though. I'll keep you occupied with my really hilarious jokes. I've got no jokes, so I'm just gonna sit here. Okay, right, that's done now. So basically, and then the next step is to go sudo apt-get upgrade. I don't know. I'll try and zoom in, and I hope it's clear. If not, I literally will. I can even forward you to the tutorial that I used. Make sure you press Y on this. So yes, you want to like let it do whatever it wants to do. It'll go mad again, and now this is just update. Well, I'm assuming it's just upgrading all of the stuff that you just done. It's just updating stuff, just whatever. It's Windows update, yeah. So now you can look like you're doing something really productive by watching this. It's not. I don't think it's too big. It's not downloading pathetically slow, but it is pretty slow. Right, that's finally done. If you're still with me and haven't either drifted off to sleep or smashed the Raspberry Pi over your head at how long that took, then welcome back. I'm obviously going to edit that. I'll probably just fast forward it just so you can understand how long it took if you're sitting there. Right, so using the wrong keyboard again, idiot. Right, so basically what you want to do is next bit, some more exciting installing stuff. Basically what you do is sudo apt-get install deluge, which is obviously the client, or deluged, not deluge. Right, and then click enter, and then this will be quick. I'm really hoping this will be quick. Right, so you want, yes, there's only 30 meg, that should be pretty quick. So right, another exciting screen of sitting here watching it do what it gotta do. Alright, so that actually took ages again, sorry. I didn't know it was going to take so long again. I just don't know why it... Basically, right, and again, straight away you're installing something else. Do sudo apt-get install, and then this time it's deluge, like without a D, and then -console. And then let that go. I'm not even going to say this doesn't take long, because you know it's going to take another couple of minutes or something stupid. You should have to accept it, I think. Don't know. I've got a feeling that this one definitely won't take as long. Anyway, let's hope it doesn't take too long. Right, so that didn't take too long. Right, now what we want to do is we want to run it. This is going to run the actual Deluge client, but we don't want to run it yet, really. We just want to, it's going to make like some default files, basically. It's going to run like all these, you know. Oh, I typed that wrong. We want to do deluge. Oh my god, I typed it wrong again. We want to do deluge. The good thing about Linux, I don't know if you've really used it, if you just press up and down on the arrow keys, you can, what you've previously done is going to be there. Right, so basically what we've done is we literally just run deluge and then killed it straight away, which will start the like thing, kill it, and it'll make a configuration file basically. And then what we want to do now is go to, we're going to edit the configuration. Basically I'm just following the tutorial. I'll put the tutorial in the link, like I said, as well in the description. You can follow through either my voice with this or follow that, and if you get stuck, come to my video and you'll sort of see what's happened, or you know. Right, so basically what we're going to do is copy and paste that out of that tutorial. I click enter, and then nano, which is, this is sort of like the editor for the text. So you're editing the text file now, so when you click this, you're going to go, that's the text file, and then what you want to do now in here is add a line for, basically we want a username sort of thing. So obviously it's, so you want a username, so I'll put Jamaby, and then the password I'll just put something like I don't know what to do for this tutorial. I'll just put Windows. Alright, and then level, I don't really know, it says on the tutorial that this is sort of like the full access administrative level for Deluge, so you'd probably want that on the main account. So what we're going to do is use this. So username Jamaby and the password is Windows, and then when you're done you just press Control, you can do Control O to write it out to the file and press that, just do Control X, and then you'll have to, it will just ask you to, if you want to leave, and then you'll be like yes, do you want to save, yes. So now what we want to do is do deluged. This will start the actual thing again, and then when that's right, now we want to do deluge-console, and this is going to bring up another little sort of texty sort of thing when it comes up, yeah. And then we need to make a quick configuration change apparently, so we'll enter the following, which is this config-s allow underscore remote true, and then we want to paste this over that as well, config allow underscore remote. Then we'll just exit the console by typing exit. That'll chuck us out of there. And we want to kill deluge again, which if you remember is sudo pkill and then deluged. And then we're going to restart it, so that's deluged again. Okay, right, so according to the tutorial, this is where, at the point where the deluge is actually available to be remotely accessed. So I'll give you the link. Basically, you want to go onto this page and download the Windows, whatever one you've got. I've got Windows 8, so it'll be there on Windows 8. And then this is the basic client now for the deluge. Without, this is not remotely accessing it, as in you can go on a website and do it. This is just the program. Basically, if you just open up deluge, I've got it installed, just install it, whatever, then grab it. Everything open on the bloody other monitor, it's annoying. Right, so I already done this. I'll remove these two. I'll close this as well, because this is something that won't actually happen for you straight away. So what you want to actually do is go to you want to go to preferences, which is in edit preferences, and then it's in interface, I believe. Yeah, and this will be enabled for you. You want to disable that classic mode. Just make sure that's unticked. Click apply and then restart. So I'll just do it anyway, and then go to deluge again, open it up. That should throw up, and then you'll have the connection manager now. Alright, so this is where you need the IP that I told you about earlier in the connection manager. When you have this add host thing, just put your IP in. This is mine, 192.168.1.118. Remember, if you need that, you can use the ifconfig, whatever. Now you need to log in with the username that you just made in that thing where it was like Jamaby :Windows password :10. So it'd be Jamaby and password Windows. Then click on add. Hopefully the light goes green. I had some trouble just now. I had to edit it out and redo it. I was being an idiot and putting my Raspberry Pi password in, like, why isn't it working? Like an idiot. So it's the password you made, obviously. I don't know what I was thinking. Right, so then just click on connect, and that's it. Literally, there'll be no torrents in there, obviously, because you've just installed it. But this is not what you want. Well, maybe it is what you want. This is not what I wanted. I wanted to be able to access this online. So what I'm going to do is throw that garbage away. And now what we want to do is get this sudo apt-get and then python-mako, like that. Apparently not. Oh, you gotta hit install, obviously. I'm flopping badly today. Install, right, it's install. Right, there we go. So it's gonna download some more stuff for this python-mako. Remember to hit yes. Don't sit there like we're hoping it's done, go and get a drink, come back, and then oh, I didn't hit yes. So just grab a Y, and then no, it's just another waiting game like usual, it seems. Alright, and we're done. Sorry, I was distracted then on Facebook waiting for it to happen. Right, so now the next thing to do is go on sudo install and then deluge-web, which is going to install the web stuff. I don't know if we really, what it was, the console on the main one. So yeah, it's deluge-web. This is going to install the web client now, so it'll let you be able to access this from outside your network or within your network, but through a browser. Obviously that's not what you want. You want to go on like Transdroid, you want to go on like Deluge on the web. That's what I wanted to do, so that's what I done, and hopefully I can recreate this because I need it. So what I've got at the moment is, I'll show you why it's doing that, is I've got a thing on feral hosting, which, you know what, their network's actually down at the moment, so it's not there. So this is what I want to get off. It's my network. If my network goes down, it's fine, but yeah, feral hosting's actually having problems today, so I can't actually show you what I want it to look like. Nah, annoying. Anyway, this is done now, so let's get to, now we want to start the web client, deluge-web. Alright, so that's gonna basically start everything up now. So the default port for that is 8112, which you're gonna have to forward. I did anyway. I've got 2 routers, so it's a bit more annoying to like forward all that stuff out. So what I'll do is I'll give you a really basic tutorial on how to do it. I'll do it on both of my routers, so if you have one or the other, you'll know. Basically, right, so this is the version super hub. You go on advanced, there'll be a port forwarding thing here, click on that. Basically, if you're just using one router, which most of you I guess will be, you want to just forward it to whatever the IP of the Pi is. So it'll be 192.168.1.118, so you put 118 here if that's obviously the same for you. Then chuck in the name, like you'd put like Pi torrent something, then put in here 8112 and 8112 again, then you put 118 there. Obviously I'm not going to do it because I've already done it. Basically what I'm doing is I'm forwarding it to my other router, so it's 192.168.0.2, so I'm forwarding it upstairs to my router up here. Here it is here, like the Pi 8112, and then you hit apply, and whatever on that. On my other router, this is probably maybe what most of your routers will have, a very similar thing to that. You want to go to, well for me it's applications of gaming, single port forwarding. Then I've got the Pi here. Basically this is obviously the network that I'm using, so I'm forwarding 118 here, and then 192.168.1.118, you know, that's it. Alright, and then now the web's actually running. I want to see if I can actually connect to this, because if you go to that whatever the IP address is, and then :8112, there we go. So this is working, but this is only in our network now, so this is only working on your home network. You wouldn't be able to connect for this outside of the network as of yet. So if you go, maybe you could actually. It's only because I had so much trouble with the ports, but let's just try it anyway. So the actual deluge password is deluge at the start, and it will say this is your first login. Do you want to change it? And you'll obviously be like, okay. So you put in the password. I'm actually going to leave it on deluge. It's just easier for this tutorial, so I'll leave it on deluge. So this is the torrent thing now. You can change like the downloads, where you're downloading stuff and all this. But what it just depends. If you want to use a proxy on your deluge, I don't. I'm from England and they don't send these torrent letters out as of yet, but they said they're going to soon. So to be honest, I've never got any trouble. I've downloaded terabytes and I've never had anything happen to me. So fuck them. That's what I say. If they want to give me a letter, they give me a letter. I'm sure I'll get shook when when I get the letter and I'm just like, oh, I wish I never done it. I wish I used a proxy, but who cares? So now let me just check if you can use your own IP address and then connect to it. Yeah, it's working for me because I forwarded the ports. You just have to make sure that port is forwarded. If you forward 8112 on whatever router you're using, you will be able to access it out of the network. So you can use your IP address. Just go on like www.myipaddress, or put my IP address in Google. Sometimes it comes up. Sometimes it will give you like whatismyipaddress.com. Find your external IP address. Put that in the web browser with :8112, and it should connect to it now with this running. Just check in PuTTY. You've still got deluge-web. The thing with PuTTY that I found is if you close this window of PuTTY, it stops the thing. I don't know if I can actually just prove that now. Let me just see. I'm closing this session, yes. And then whenever I try and... You see, now I can't find it because that's it. So what I found was easier for me personally, I'm not sure how else you can do it, is just start the Pi on the HDMI and then do it like that. I just ended up just doing it through the Pi itself. But on this tutorial there is a way to configure Deluge to run at the startup, which I did do as well, but I don't know if it actually worked. Well, I didn't have much luck with the script on getting it to start when the Pi starts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip forward to just show you how the actual torrent works if you want to try it yourself with the script to start, then do that. If not, do what I do. Every time the Raspberry Pi starts, just type deluge-web and then leave it. If you do that on the Pi itself, then you'll never have trouble, and you can turn your computer off and blah 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 and just leave the Pi running. As long as you've typed it on the Pi, it will always be there. That's just what I do. It's easier for me to do it. I'm not interested in getting the other thing working because I never turn the Pi off as it is now, so it can just stay on forever basically. But if you do get it to work, then that's easier for you. You won't have to type deluge-web constantly, and it will do it automatically. So just follow the tutorial in the description and see if you really want that feature. If not, just leave your Pi on like I do. I'll connect through my local network for now, just to make sure. Yeah. Alright, so that's just loading up the client now. Here, you just connect. So I'm in to that. You can just let me just check if I've got any like torrents laying around. Yeah, alright. So if you just go adds and then URL and then, oh actually not URL, you want to go to file. So I'm going to test if this works because I had trouble in this browser in Chrome. So if I just pretend I'm adding fraps, just small, it's easy. Add. It says it's uploading, but I don't know if it will. There's something to do with Chrome. This has nothing to do with the actual server itself. Now, right, so what you want to do is, I use Internet Explorer for this because it just doesn't seem to want to work in Chrome ever. Even last time it didn't work in Chrome. So just grab up the Deluge again. If it doesn't work in your Chrome, like I said, it's not an issue. I started bashing my head against the wall, like, why isn't it working? But it wasn't an issue with Chrome in the first place. It was an issue. It wasn't an issue with the C box. It was an issue with Chrome. So you start a server. Just go like downloads, fraps, add. Now it's done. This is the file it's going to be. This is what it is. Then add. Now it's added it. It's downloading. I'm using IP torrents. It's just a private crappy tracker thing. So at the moment it's downloading to home-pi, which you'll be able to see on the Pi if I can remember how to do it. So if we'll just shut this off for now. You can press Control and C, that cancels the command in Linux. I don't know if it does on it. It obviously does do something on that because it just done it. You can do like CD and then home-pi. I'm hoping this works. Oh, this is home, right? So you can do ls. Yeah, alright, so you can see, sorry, I didn't know I was in the home directory already. So here we go, you can see beeper fraps, blah blah blah, whatever is there. And now the other stupidly annoying thing for me anyway to set up was the FTP, to actually FTP to this and get it off there. So I'm gonna make another tutorial or just merge it with this one and then explain how you actually get the file off there on your computer, because obviously you don't want to have to go onto like the Pi and like get the SD card out and put it in the thing, and then, you know, that's just shit. So what we want to do and obviously for now that it's just using the SD card because I just wanted to test this is just to get it up and running, and then when you want to use the like an external hard drive or something, I'll get onto that in another tutorial because I don't even know how to do that myself. I'm sure it's easy, you could probably work it out yourself or just Google it, but I'm gonna focus on getting the FTP up now, so bear with me. Alright, so here we go. Right, this is the bit that I really screwed up on, and I didn't even try it, so I'm gonna, as they say, YOLO it, and hopefully not like an idiot when I'm just as clueless as you guys at installing it, or less clued up. So what I'm gonna do is apt-get install vsftpd, and I'll obviously, what if I done it wrong already? Oh, it's sudo. Sorry. You remember the sudo apt-get install vsftpd. Right, there we go. Right, so, or you can just log in as the root if that's easier for you, but I'm doing it the silly way it seems. Well, that shouldn't take incredibly long, he says. Alright, I'm not really too sure what's going on there. I think I just went a bit too far ahead. So what I'm going to do is go, next thing after you've installed it is go sudo nano and then this etc vsftpd.conf. It's like a config file. But once you're in here, I'll just make this bigger to make it easier. You want to search through the file and change the following lines. So you want anonymous enable yes, which is just down here. You want to turn that into no. It's a little stupid accent on the no. So you want to go that no, and then local enable yes. You want to uncomment that so it actually works, and then write enable yes. You want to uncomment that so that it works, and then just hit Control and X and then Y, so that will exit and save. And then oh wait, you have to add another line to it. Just go back into that, and you want to add this line right at the bottom of that file. 1 second, go to the bottom. Alright, you want to add in force underscore dot underscore files equals yes. So that's force, FORCE, underscore dot underscore files equals yes. And then that's Control X and then hit Y, enter. Alright, and now you want to restart this service. So that will be sudo servce vsftpd restart. So that started, stopped, that's gone. And now make another window and come back in, because that other thing didn't work. So I'm not really too sure that is. If you know, you can probably teach me, because I do not know. Oh shit, what have I done now? Alright, so I thought it screwed up then. I was like, okay, right. So now we want to come in, do sudo dash I. I think this is something that was on the previous thing. I just usermod -l root exit. Right, so now this is where the again you have to use your routers or router to forward ports again. Let me just, I'll come one and use it. Right, there we go. You want to just go to applications and gaming, single port forward in. So what I've done is I just use this, it always has it in there. Just go FTP and SMTP, just, or it should be SFTP. Oh, it's not there yet. So anyway, just FTP, all that's what you need is FTP forward that. That works for me. You can do it here as well, FTP forward port 20, and I think it's 20 and 21 is what you need. Some people said 20, some people said 21. The actual tutorial says 21, so to be safe, just forward FTP. That should be fine for you. And then on my version Super Hub, you know it's the same thing. Again, just put in your password, then fly over to advanced settings. Oh, not port forward and not blocking. And then it's SFTP and FTP to 115 and 20 and 21. So it's the same on both. It's 20 and 21. And then right now, so this is another exciting thing for you. Get out your FTP client. I'm using FileZilla. You can go to File Site Manager. That's my seed box. So, right, I just say that this is basically my IP. You know, the 192.168.1.118. That's the internal one. Then use the user pi, your password. It's that actual user pi and the user pi's password. The port, just leave it blank because it will go to 21 anyway, and then connect, and hopefully there we go. So you're in the default directory now, and then there's the fraps that I downloaded. You go in there, that's it, fraps. I didn't really have any luck getting access to this outside of the network. I'll try it now because it just says something weird. Yeah, it says like weird stuff, so don't worry yourself too much. I didn't worry because I don't need that. I personally don't need that, so I'm not worried about that at all. Some people did say to go to and just do it passive. It doesn't work. For me, it doesn't work. I don't know why. I don't care why. I don't need it, and that's that. So yeah, so like now you can just go back to here. You can change the directory in the actual deluge of where you want to download stuff, and then obviously you can just change it here as well, and then that's it. That is the seed box done. So you can just download what you want now, and you can access it from the outside. With the Transdroid app, it's really easy. Just go on the, he says, oh yeah, I'm not, yeah, so you obviously you need to start deluge-web. I'm just being an idiot now. This deluge-web now will always be started now. That will always be there, sort of thing, until you close that window. So when you refresh, deluge comes up. Then you can just download what you want. If you want to get the external working, then I would suggest finding another tutorial for that, because I don't know how to do that. And I do need to do that at one point. Remember the default password is deluge. There you are, connect. There you go, fraps is still seeding. And that's it. That is how you do it. And hopefully this helped someone. Sorry that I stumbled a bit on some stuff, and I'm going to try and do some more tutorials if I work out how to do some more exciting stuff with the Raspberry Pi. But at least if you're on the fence, why do I need a Raspberry Pi? Here you go, you can pirate everything you want and leave it on overnight and seed. I know for most of you it's not necessary to do this, but I'm like, for me, I'm on a private tracker called IP torrents. change my password on this as well. I forgot. So yeah, so you just jump in here. Obviously, I just changed my cbook, so all the torrents are like, what's happened? Where are we? So you can just, obviously you need ratio. I've nearly uploaded the terabyte, and I've downloaded 269, which is very good. So, and with this seed box, it will be even better, I hope. So thanks for watching. Hopefully it helps, and hopefully I'll see you again another time with another tutorial. Thank you.